Mm-hmm. Yo, what up, world? What up, world? What up, world, man? It's your man. I am DJ Double Dose, man, and we got another guest in the building with us, man. We doing more of the Bama LSU preview. Y'all all know it's one of the biggest games. This is basically going to decide the West for the most part. Y'all already know what time it is, man. This your man. I am DJ Double Dose, man, and this is Double Dose of Real Sports. I got my partner Tony on the line, man. Tony, man, what up to the people, man?
What's happening, man?
Man,
hey, man, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you.
Man, appreciate it, man. You know, I had to get you on for this, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's been a lot of talk, but I hadn't had a chance to talk to you, you know what I'm saying, since September. You know what I mean?
You know me, I'm always on the road.
It was a beautiful occasion, you know. I got you on, we gotta talk about that for a split second. You know, hey, I heard all off season about this block 1 point. I heard it. I mean, I kept hearing it. Oh, we should have won. Oh, we should have did this. But then Mr. Keon Coleman showed up in Orlando. Your thought?
Hey, boo boys show up when they supposed to. I will say that. Hey, man, that's a very touchy subject. I kind of forgot about that game, and I'm gonna pull a Travis on this one. Keon ain't did nothing since the game.
Ask Clemson has he done that since the game. Game winner. You know what I'm saying? Game winner. So I mean, but I just had to mess with you about that, man. But we gonna stick to the matter at hand. LSU coming into this game. I mean, when you want to talk about offense, you know, it's looking real 19-ish. It's looking real. No, I mean the numbers.
I don't like the comparison.
Yeah, understand. Fair. That is more than fair. But it's looking nice. It is looking very nice. And when you go into this, my first question to you is: when you go into this matchup with Bama's defense this year, I don't want to say they've been lights out, but they have been more up to par for what they're used to. What's one of the main things that you're looking forward to going into the matchup?
The matchups on the outside. Actually, it's 4 matchups that I'm looking forward to. The 2 matchups on the boundary, which is Kool-Aid and Malik, Terrion and BTJ, but also Chris Braswell, whatever side they move him, and Dallas Turner against Emory Jones and Will Campbell. I hope we don't have to go through what we went through with Florida State when you had the defensive lineman on the sideline talking about, hey, man, number 70 giving us props during the game. I hope we don't have to go through that, but those are the 4 matchups that I'm really looking forward to. Well, you saw Dallas versus Emory and Will last year, which was a battle but they had Anderson and Turner last year versus Will and Emory. But the matchups on the boundaries are going to be real. Are going to really be the telltale, if you ask me.
One of y'all tackles is out, or
no, he's back.
He's back. Okay, he's back. I remember because that was the Auburn game. He got nicked up.
He got hurt. Okay, he got hurt, and they started the freshman Lance Hurd against Army. So that basically puts him almost at like 20 days of rest.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Now let me ask you this. Now speaking of, I want to stay on the defensive side of the ball. Well, move to the defense side of the ball with LSU because we know what the offense is going to do. We're going to get to that in a second. What y'all going to do with Harold Perkins in this game, man? Is y'all gonna let him do what he do best?
See, even though we play in some high intense games with Ole Miss, Arkansas, Missouri. Since the Ole Miss game, he's actually been playing like Harold Perkins. You know, they've been moving him around. He's been playing like a rover, Sam linebacker role, and he's actually been playing well. a lot of the screen, if you somebody try to do a screen or
Right.
a running back out the backfield, he's really been on top of it. He had a pick against Missouri that ignited the defense and turned their game around.
Yes.
But other than that, he's been playing well. They've been mixing and matching the linebacker with Greg Penn, Omar Spates, and the freshman Weeks from Georgia. So they've been rotating them three and just trying to find the groove. But Harold has been Harold.
Because I mean, my thing is, I've been, me and Renard, we had a heated discussion on Downside Football podcast earlier in the week. But I guess my thing is, with Milroe in this game, I feel like he's gonna have to use his legs more, because what they don't need to do, what Alabama doesn't need to do in this game is get into a scoring. They know that. I think Saban knows that. I think they all know that this can't become a track meet. They can't withstand that. So with that being said, if they're gonna use Milroe a little more with his legs, would Perkins be the one that would be on the spy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I also got a little birdie that Bama been watching week 1. That's all I'm gonna say. And I think you know, and I think you know where I got that info from.
That's funny. That is
where I got that info from.
That's classic. It's funny. It's funny how things, you give it time. You give it time, things tend to, things to turn around, man. But also looking at Alabama, and we know that Milroe with the intermediate passing game is not there. So, he's either slant, flat, deep ball. Anything else in between that 15 to 20 range, he ain't really hitting that. So with that being said, does that worry you? Because LSU has had some issues on the back end this year. Stopping the run, really. I mean, we all know y'all front seven is stupid. Like that's that. Even
Ben, from week 1 to it was Florida State, Grambling, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Okay, the first 4 weeks of the season, they got the O-line. I mean, D-line got exposed. Like they start showing clips on Twitter, and it got back out to the fans. Them dudes lining 2 yards off the ball. So they had a disadvantage. Okay, come to the Missouri game, they brought in P. Jenkins.
Okay, I remember they brought him in. Right.
Okay, moved them back up to the north where they're supposed to be on top of the ball. Defense start playing well, like I brought up earlier. The interception from Perkins, it kind of sparked, but the defense has been playing well. But the back end of the schedule is better defenses, and not the first part of the schedule were better offenses. So it's kind of flop. But I think I might be in the minority on this. Milroe scares me.
Hey, look, before I had a whole clip about it before the season started, man. I even said it, man. He wasn't getting. I mean, I get it, compared to what they've had. When you compare Bryce and Matt and what I'm saying, Tua and so forth and so forth, compared to what they had, he ain't none of them. I get that, but at the same time, given the right situation, you put him in the right spots. He's a solid. You know what I'm saying? He's a solid quarterback. He can be a solid quarterback. And over the last few weeks, he's shown that. He's put up decent numbers, even passing wise. Like I said, for whatever reason, he know he can run, but that boy does not like he does not like the RPO game very much. He does not like to take it and run like that. He more so like to run when he scrambles,
Brian Kelly brought that up in one of his pressers that from what they've studied, he doesn't consider Milroe as a running quarterback
because he don't like to pull it. He don't like to keep it. He doesn't. If you watch them play, a lot of his runs are scrambles or quarterback draws. You know what I'm saying? That they've actually called. But when it comes to riding the side, he does not like to. He don't like to keep it. Jordan Travis is that way, but we know why, because he made out of glass. So it's like, hey, we protecting him. You let that don't run because we can't afford you to get hit. But he just, in his mind, he just does not. And I know some Bama fans probably gonna listen to this and have their 2 cents and dig in and be like, nah, Just go look at the tape. The boy don't like to keep it and run. He just don't. You know what I'm saying? But with all that being said, let's talk about Mr. Jaden Daniels, okay? Now, my view on Jaden Daniels is a lot different from everybody else's. You know, I've seen him in two situations, and I've seen him in games where they were close and they were tight. And like I told everybody, he gonna give you one. You know, but this Jaden Daniels, as I was told, that was week 1 being, he's grown. In this matchup coming into Tuscaloosa, are you at all worried if this game stays close in what Jaden Daniels
do? It's not about our offense that worries me. It's the defense that worries me.
Gotcha.
Bama is great at 3rd and 5. You know, third 5 and shorter.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the best teams in converting third and 5s and shorter in the country. LSU, man, the defense early in the year was terrible on 3rd down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what bothers me the most. I think this is the best offensive line that Bama has faced in hours.
Yes.
Outside of y'all, this is the best defensive line our offensive line has faced.
Yeah.
It's now, as far as wide receiver cores, I really don't. Outside of A&M, I don't think they faced a great wide receiving core yet. LSU has faced, and and a lot of people don't know, but Missouri's cornerback duo is one of the best in the country outside of Arnold and Kool-Aid. A lot of people don't give a lot of people credit.
Missouri actually got a shot tomorrow, but we're going to leave that alone.
I don't think so.
I do. Missouri been playing Paul lately, man. And I know now, like I know this, we still stand on this, but they got Georgia's attention. I mean, Georgia got dropped in the polls. Georgia knows that they only have 1 loss. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they had their attention. But no, man, I don't think that game is gonna be as bad as some might think it to be. But
I think it's gonna be really a head-to-head matchup with the meeting of the minds when it comes to Nick Saban versus Brian Kelly. You give Nick Saban the upper hand on that one, but like I said, excuse me, I just got my refrigerator fixed, so the ice is starting to make ice. But
you good.
But yeah, that's gonna be the battle to me. It's more of the defense that worries. Defense and Miro worries me more than even Jaden. But this could be Jaden's highest moment. I know LSU has 2 losses, but Jaden comes out, LSU get the victory, and Jaden plays. You have no choice but to put him at the top spot of the Heisman.
He walks into Tuscaloosa, and I don't even think it got to be crazy numbers. Like I'm talking, if he walks in there and gets 300 and maybe 2 or 3 tubs, and they walk out with the victory, and it's not like I've debated with people, they're not empty calories, like the yardage actually, turns into touchdowns, not going 20 to 20 and not scoring. You know what I'm saying? Those actually that he walks out of there with 300 plus on a couple. You can go ahead and get, because Penix hasn't been playing that great as of late. Washington as a whole ain't been playing that great as of late. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Oregon is Oregon. So yeah, this is his moment. I mean, if you look at it, he walks in there 2 years in a row. I mean, last year was in Baton Rouge, of course. This year in Tuscaloosa. He pulls that off back to back with the numbers that he's been putting up. You might can go ahead and write it out for him.
You remember the Auburn LSU game in 19 when Joe quote unquote kind of struggled, but he still had over 300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You remember who the DC was, right?
Who?
Kevin Steele.
Yeah. No, man. I'm sorry. Kevin Steele done been everywhere. I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah. What have been all over. Hey, man. Yeah. I mean, I look for one of the main things I'm looking forward to in the matchup to me is I legit want to see how Bama responds when LSU gets out ahead, because I firmly believe that LSU is going to take a lead early, and I want to see how they respond when they're down. What happens? That's one of the things I'm looking forward to. Because like we said, LSU is going to score. Like there's really no way around that. Alabama knows that. It's just about how much they allow them to score. But the point's going to get put on the board. You know what I'm saying? So what do you do? What will they do when they're in that situation? And just me, my personal opinion, I just feel like until they go in there and do, I gotta see it. I know I watch because even as great as 19 was, that game Tuscaloosa still was close. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's still as great as that team was, that game was still close. You know, and some of it's because it's just Brian Denning. You know, we know calls go
Yeah. Then
certain ways.
they
So
last game they had
it ain't
one
just all
penalty,
about
huh?
the people on the field. We know calls go certain ways in that stadium at night
Hey,
too. You know,
they last game they had one penalty, huh?
yeah. This
One
probably gonna be
penalty for
another.
5 yards.
Yeah, you know.
But nah, we had
we ain't gonna put on, but we just saying, you know, in that stadium, a hold. Look, what I'm gonna say like this: a hold is not a hold, okay? You know, because a hold is not a hold. I mean, no matter how blatant you see it, a hold is not a hold in Brian Denny. We just gonna leave it at that.
We had a discussion. Me and Blake, AYS had a discussion. What do you do if you win a coin toss? Do you take it and try to put pressure on Bama, or do you get the ball in the second half? Because think about it, all year Bama has been one of the best second half teams in America. So you get the ball, but Bama get the ball back at half, and they got the lead. They can blow it open because they've made great adjustments at half.
If I'm y'all, I'm taking it and I want the ball. I'm going, like you said, at the end of the day, this ain't the LSU we're old. Y'all strength is your offense. And if you win that coin toss, you take it. And like I said, ain't no better way to shut that crowd up. Seriously, all jokes aside, I know it's the first drive, but there's no better way than for all this hype we've been. Both of y'all was off last week. All this hype, everything we've been hearing, and LSU get the ball first and march right down that damn field and put Sim on the board. You want to talk about rat pissing on cotton? That's what you gonna hear in there. It's gonna be like, damn, they really, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so at that point, it's just like, and I get it. Most teams want to get the ball at halftime for that reason. This is like, hey, people make adjustments, but in this case, if you know your strength is your offense, I mean, treat it like we treat it, you know what I'm saying? Treat it like we do overtime the opposite way. In overtime, you want to see what the other team gonna do and wait. This one go on attack. Like that, I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, and see, like I also got a funny feeling they're gonna be more balanced.
Definitely.
They're gonna try to control the clock. And
they better.
have we been a good run stopping team? Yeah, we've been a lot better than we have. I think we're more athletic at linebacker than we were last year. Like I said, we got the freshman Weeks. He's been playing. He's athletic like Perkins, but not as fast. But he's a better linebacker than Perkins.
What about Wingo? Is Wingo still out?
He done for the season.
Damn.
See, I hope.
So Mason got to do what we've been expecting him to do.
Actually, the best defensive line we've had is Jordan Jefferson, 99, the guy we got from West Virginia.
Gotcha. And y'all wanted I forgot his name. Yep, y'all wanted Fitz Braden. Y'all wanted Braden. Braden been up and down, but he's delivered in some key moments. He definitely delivered in some key moments. But I hate that about Wingo because against us,
he hadn't played great. He hadn't played extremely great since then. I think he got hurt against y'all and been playing hurt. Into where it actually caught up with him.
Cause I'm like, man, against us, like, and it was so crazy. I remember arguing with people. And I'm just like, they're like, man, if we would have had, man, I'm like, did y'all watch the cat y'all had in there that was in there? Hell, I couldn't tell. Especially in the first half, we couldn't do absolutely nothing. So I'm like, man,
third team All-American.
I'm like, shit, I couldn't tell. Like, hell, that dude was out there balling, man. But I'm gonna say this, man, and I want to ask you this question, the great debate right now, because we got to talk about before you leave. Who you taking? You know what I'm saying? Wide receiver. Who we taking? Best wide receiver in the nation. Where we going with? Is we going up top, down bottom, or we going with y'all? Where we going to?
I have a question. What we basing this off of? The way they play or numbers? Because
I'm gonna say the way they play. I'm gonna say the way they play.
The way they play. I'm going junior.
Gotcha.
I'm going junior. Off numbers, I'm taking Malik.
All right. And my thing is,
off potential, I'm taking Burton of Brian Thomas Jr.
Gotcha. Because I mean, Ohio State done got into, and I think and it's so funny. I know it won't stay this way because obviously Ohio State and Michigan got to play each other, but a lot of people's like, man, Florida, they put us at 4. I said, brother, if that's how it be, I would take Ohio State in the first round of the playoffs over Michigan and Georgia any day of the week. I'm like, have y'all been watching Ohio State? They are literally throw to Marvin. That's now I know Travion Henderson comes back this week, but prior to him coming, and we don't know what he's gonna do. He's been out for a little minute, so we don't know what he's gonna do. Like, man, I've been watching Ohio State. Like, I would much rather deal with them and Marvin.
I'm gonna tell you what I've noticed about the Big Ten teams when it comes playoff times in the last 5 years. When they face a team that's more athletic than them, they struggle.
Who would have thought that TCU was more athletic than Michigan? But if you had watched TCU all year, it wouldn't have been that much of a. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been.
They really were the southern version of Michigan with more athleticism,
with more
ground and pound, wear you down, and being real tough on defense. They were the southern version of Michigan all year
long. So I mean, so for me, I looked at it like, hey, man, I know it won't be that way because they got to play each other. So obviously, one of them is going to eliminate the other. And, and I think it's kind of one of those things where people, at one point, they kept talking about the Florida State win against LSU, and it was holding a disregard. Then it dipped. And then it's like, now it's just like, hey, okay, they did beat LSU, man. But I guess for me, if LSU pulls this off, if I'm Georgia, I would be scared.
Why would you say that?
If I'm Georgia, I mean, because LSU's going to test them vertically, and nobody has done that to Georgia this year.
Oh, they're going to get tested Saturday. They're going to get tested tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, up until this point, they haven't really been tested vertically. Like, it's like, South Carolina gave them a scare, but South Carolina offensive line is terrible. So eventually they wore them down.
Ben, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm just talking strictly about next year. If Missouri can flip their Wingo kid and keep them at home, that means you have Theo Weiss, Mookie Cooper, Luther Burton, and Ryan Wingo as your 4 wide receivers. And if Cook comes back, that's dangerous.
He definitely will come back. He'll come back.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous. Like I said, man, look, the NIL game has definitely helped, you know what I'm saying? Some people that you may not think it has helped, man. But I ain't gonna put you on the hot seat and ask you for a final score prediction. I ain't gonna do that.
I don't do that.
I ain't gonna do that. I don't do it either. Like I said, because I don't care if I win by a point. It don't matter to me.
All I want is a W.
Before we get out of here, man, just one last key, one of your last keys to the game before we get out of here.
I hope the youngsters in the secondary can hold their own. That's honestly, if we can get some stops, it's gonna be. I could see LSU winning. If the secondary doesn't hold up, I could see it being a blowout and we getting our ass whooped.
Man, well, that's where it is, man. Appreciate you for stopping through with me, Tony, man. I appreciate it 1,000 times, man, because, at the end of the day, man, we're trying to make this thing grow, trying to make this community grow, man. And that's one of the things that I've wanted to do, with the show is make sure that not only have national guests, have guests that's just like me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm waiting on Double Dose Sundays. I'm waiting.
Oh, don't worry. That NFL thing get rid of because a lot of y'all ready to get at me about my Niners, but we're gonna leave that.
I'm not. I like to. Hey, man, you know me. I'm a sports talker. I like to talk ball.
Yeah,
so I'm
man.
waiting on these Double Dose Sundays.
Man, they is definitely coming, man. So, man, thank you so much for coming through, man.
Oh, man,
This is I am DJ Double Dose, man, and I always remember what I tell people each and every time, man. Live, laugh, and love, man. Live your life to the fullest. Love on the people that love you back. And find you something to laugh at each and every day, man. And we out of here, man.